Well, hearts are heavy across our country every time we get word of yet another mass shooting. The Gun Violence Archive reports more than 200 mass shootings in the United States. Just this year, nearly 30 of those have left devastation in our schools with children as the victims. Seeing these tragedies can have an effect on our children's mental health. Dr. Max Rosen, an instructor in psychiatry with the Washington University School of Medicine, joins us this morning as there could be a lot of emotion sending your children into school. Good morning to you. All right, Dr. Rosen, tell us how parents should confront these emotions and these really tough conversations with their young children.
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I really appreciate that we're having this conversation today because these are really hard conversations that we should be having also with our children. And I think the most important point for me to convey to our parents who are out there also watching is that every child is so different, and you are so there with your child, and you know your child the best. And so the conversation that you might have with a kindergartner might look a lot different than the conversation that you have with a teenager. But the important thing is that we are having these conversations because we need to be able to show our children that it's okay to talk about these things because they will hear about these things. They're already hearing about these things in school with intruder drills and with other types of things. And so it's really important that we're having these conversations with our kids.
And so parents should not shy away from those conversations, even when the children are young. You told me you have a 5-year-old who you're having to have this talk with.
That's correct. I have a kindergartner, and I had this conversation with him the other day. And the important thing to start, especially with the younger kiddos, is that just to ask them if they've heard about what's going on and to hear kind of where their head is at. And you want to be able to to approach your child and to be able to understand how much they've heard and what they've heard, but that you want to steer your conversation in a developmentally appropriate way. So again, what I told my kindergartner would look a lot different than what I would tell a high school student, for example.
Okay, and is there anything parents can do or avoid doing to encourage positive mental health in children?
Yeah, that's also a really good question, and I think it's really important that we start those conversations and we ensure the safety and ensure that the adults that are around these kiddos are trying to work their hardest to ensure their safety, because at this time there's going to be a wide range of emotions. So there could be anxiety, there could be worry, there could be fear, there could be absolutely no emotion at all, and all of those are very important to understand that they are a normal response to these things. And so being able to understand that that's a form of communication that our child is having, and to be able to not try to say, how can we change or fix those emotions or change or fix the situation, but be able to provide that space for your child to be able to express their emotions.
All right. Quickly before we wrap, if people want to know more about signs to look for that show the child might need mental help or professional help, where can we go to learn some more information on how to deal with these things?
That's also a really good question. So I often tell my parents to go to the Child Mind Institute, which is an online or a website for both clinicians as well as parents to be able to address these things. But if you want to watch out for things where they're not enjoying things, where they're not where they're not doing their hobbies or activities, so that's where being able to reach out to a mental health provider, a counselor, a psychiatrist would be really important.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Rosen, for joining us this morning. If you all would like to hear that information again, just visit our website, fox2now.com.